Oh shit, this DLC is only available at the end of the game? Well, better get to finally finishing it then, hadn't I?
I was born rich.
What else have you, been up to?
Who even does post-game DLC anymore? Mine. Still so AAA.
Well, this is a surprise.
Does Lord Vader have a cameo clause in his contract or something? Because I'm pretty sure this exact scene happened in Jedi whatever as well. Okay, I'm sorry I asked. No, really, post-game DLC. That is, aside from the random tacked-on New Game Plus mode some tattooed gangsters in Japan would rather you pay for, because it's pretty much a given these days nobody even finishes the games they buy, hence why everything front-loads the first third of the runtime with lavishly produced cutscenes and all the bells and whistles gameplay to make sure you don't regret your purchase for at least 2 hours. Run away!
For the rebellion, right? Ha!
The reason we're all here
Is because I paid 90 Connect bucks for this game, which happily isn't broken anymore. And usually when you get to the halfway point, it just throws a random princess at you while yelling, "Here's your half-naked woman, now get the f*** out," because you're already past the Steam refund window. Oh man, I would totally want somebody to invent self-driving floating luggage if I ever left my house or like to travel in any way.
Nobody gets hurt.
Is there anyone in here not stabbing me in the back? Take this.
Our only hope now is the space cat. Come on. Get the f*** out of my way, I'm a fascist.
that we're brothers.
Brothers, who could have saw that coming, eh?
I can't stop until I find you.
This is stalker behavior, and I'm glad I have a restraining order against you.
You should have left me.
Wow, abusive ex much? Well, I got my robot boyfriend back, who betrays the guy who betrayed me, who then betrays his brother, who was an Imperial spy all along betraying all the criminals. And then we kill a lot of people and run away again before Kay has her requisite change of heart to help the good guys out because they're good and not because, you know, she wants to get fairly paid for her work so she can eat and stuff.
Say again.
The Empire knows where you are. Can you hear me?
Diverting power to deflectors.
Daniel, did you get out?
I can see that.
And whoever you were buddies with or shipped the most heroin for turns up to have your back. Shit, I wish I was nicer to Jabba.
I see why Gorak approves of you.
We're hit. Shields are down.
And then we blow up the, well, not the Death Star, but more like a government-owned truck parked in the Death Star parking lot. But it's still something before we're finally ready for.
Hey, there is some sort of beeping in the ship.
Like a bomb?
My sensors don't detect any threats, but you should come investigate yourself.
It's just all that stuff that came with the Season Pass.
I can't live.
Okay, so the first bad thing about the DLC is... Motherfucker. I've already been here. Wait, Kay can't swim? So first impressions are not good. You don't start with a riveting lead-in to sell what you just bought, but get sent on a chase throughout all the places you've already been. Finally! As is usually the case with even the good games, DLC just keeps bolting more stuff into the middle that you can play anytime you want, until you don't even want to play anymore because human life is limited and you only have time for one playthrough of a 100-hour RPG, and you don't even know when you should start because they just keep bolting more stuff into the middle of it.
Sounds like a vote.
Strangely democratic pirates, honestly. A pirate's fortune therefore being somewhat of a rarity in this day and age, being actual post-game DLC, for a game that by all accounts sold like shit is doubly bold of the developers for assuming anybody finished Star Wars Outlaws to begin with and want more of it. And also I feel shorthand for the game's fortunes itself by doing all the right things nobody else is trying anymore, which will probably have to wait to be vindicated years and years down the line, when this game starts showing up on a lot of best of lists, because it takes years for people to properly recognize the good things in life they they took for granted, like being able to hang out with Star Wars Captain Jack Sparrow.
I am the great Captain Hondo Ohnaka.
Okay.
As we finish Kay's story of stealing shit to learn she still just wants to steal more shit, is when we start the DLC, at least until we get to the asteroid jail where we meet. Look, if we're being honest here, I appreciate they got the original voice actor in for this guy, but I never watched the series and therefore has no prior sense of misguided loyalty to go on. So all I can say is he is tolerably charismatic even if the rest of the DLC is sweaty balls. Run away! The story itself is far more side plot than proper epilogue, being essentially another episode of Kay wants to steal shit because she can't stop herself and there's no medicine for kleptomania in a galaxy far, far away, and her robot boyfriend would rather she not, but since they can't have kids, what else are they even gonna do to pass the time? This is the new area, indistinguishable from the old area. Fuck you, flying missions.
I find it hard.
That mask isn't helping, we know you're the stripper race.
Can't wait to hear it.
DLC's over. I wish. And the gameplay, well, what's there is good already, judging from the dozens or so hours you will need to have played at minimum to end up at this point. But all you really get is a new ship that plays exactly the same as the old ship, which you don't even get to use for more than once until the DLC is already over, and then what the f is even the point? You can also do drive-bys now. Kay's a real gangster. Whoa, look at a spider. But even purely on the merits of it being essentially just more of Star Wars Outlaws, I'm not entirely sure why this particular DLC deserved to be post-game, since it honestly isn't closure and crucially doesn't even have an ending itself.
Just look for a power source.
That robot is telling you to go f yourself.
I said, walk into my trap.
Run away!
You're not helping.
Run away! No, I don't care about spoilers because we've already finished the game. And if you didn't know Luke comes very close to committing fratricide, that's on you.
Unhand me, you sludge-covered bog hound.
Shut up, your gimmick is wearing thin.
We should be getting our credits the old-fashioned way.
I agree, why aren't you people robbing cruise liners and space banks?
Up.
Once again, democracy pirates. So the whole point of the DLC was to get to a vault with supposedly untold riches inside. But by the end of the DLC, nobody gets into the vault with supposedly untold riches inside. You get to the entrance, hold a vote, and the other pirates gets their feelings hurt and throws a hissy fit. Screw you guys! And then everybody goes home. Well, that was pointless. No boss fight, no revelation, nothing which can even be remotely construed as a conclusion to the story, before promises of further adventures are made that will never be realized because, again, the game sold like shit, so just buy it on sale, but maybe don't play past the ending unless it's really, really cheap. In that case, what else were you gonna use that $5 for anyways? Lottery tickets? Get the f out of here, nobody wins those. They're all rigged. Meanwhile, Kay just goes home to f her sentient vibrator or something.
You know what I did before I met you?